made rounds quite a bit on social media. So she was sacked because, according to the Kenya Airports Authority, she failed to accord the Cabinet Secretary, Fred Matiang'i, priority service at the Jomo Kenyatta International Airport. On the other hand, Daisy defends herself here, and she says, I was sacked because of an offense that does not exist. Even the charges indicate that I was only performing my duties as per the security procedures at the airport. I'd like to begin with you, Akili, just from a legal standpoint. Is this a case of blatant impunity, or is this something that should be happening in our country?
I think nothing best explains blatant impunity than the action we saw by the Kenya Airports Authority, which was initiated by the inability or total absolute contempt on the part of the Cabinet Secretary. I mean, he was just required to queue. And you remember about 4 years ago, a similar incident happened at it was
a supermarket.
It's a supermarket.
Where Nancy Barasa.
Yes. And then when the security officer attempted to make directions on how the then DCJ should be checked, I mean, there was a big commotion. And if you compare the gravity of what happened in respect of Nancy Baraza and Kerubo, and in respect of Matiang'i and Daisy, you can't clearly see what offense Daisy committed. And look, Jubilee told us that when they will be in office, they'll create 5,000 jobs within their first year of entry. Now, look, what they do, the person who is supposed to be doing the job is being denied the opportunity to do the job, victimized, and even sacked. It's a bad culture.
I mean, Amunga doesn't seem to agree with that.
Surely. There's always two sides of the coin. So far, we've only had the side of Daisy. Daktari Matiang'i is yet to say anything. I even don't know why my brother is bringing Jubilee in this. This is just a matter of a small issue. Like even when you come into this studio, you have to go through the security checks. But we have only had the version of the security lady. Why can't we be allowed also to hear the side of Matiang'i or even Kenya Airports Authority? In fact, we may discover it's a totally different story. Kenyans, we like hyping things that are not even important.
All right, so that's a report on page 3 of the paper.
Yes,
Captain,
yes.
let's get your thoughts on this.
I think the issue here is about protocol and about how we train and prepare our staff for certain situations.
Right.
For sure, our national figures are known to us because they are our leadership. And the courtesy demands, if you feel at any one point as a security agent that you are getting compromised or threatened within your work perimeters by one of our dignitaries, you must know how to go about it. And this comes with training, preparation by the institution you are working with. So the blame is not about Daisy or the PS Matiang'i, a very good friend of mine, but it is about the Kenya Airways, Kenya Airports Authority, and how they train, prepare their security personnel in terms of handling these kind of situations and how they respond to. Well, for sure, it may happen one time. So many Kenyans don't know Bill Gates, and we are told he is among the very few very rich Kenyans.
Right.
So if I mishandle, but he happens to introduce himself as Bill Gates, it depends how we will also approach that given circumstances. So it's got variations. Let us not blow it out of proportion, but rather let us sympathize with both sides for now, as we make some investigations to come
hear
up
both
with
sides of the story.
recommendations.
But of course,
But Captain, in all fairness, what happened is this. It was just a small altercation between the security agent and the minister. But you see, instead of the minister becoming benevolent and being the bigger person in the scenario, what did he do? He picked a phone and called the minister in charge of transport and say, what the hell is this small girl doing obstructing my way to Kisumu? That's not how a state officer is supposed to be.
Case.
And then therein lies the problem. How can a security agent of the magnitude of Daisy be a humiliating factor to a minister? There's a big problem.
All right, let's
We had a
Amunga.
case where the former senator and currently NASA co-principal, what's his name again? Former Minister Wetangula. Wetangula was stopped from entering a plane at the Kenya West to Mombasa. And the the attendants wanted him to identify himself, bring out his ID. And he removed everything. He gave them his bank card. He said, all of you know me. I've been a foreign affairs minister. Okay, we understand. All these protocols are observed, but at the end of the day, everybody's doing their work. The only issue I have with this story is we are only hearing one side of the story.
All right.
On the other side, that day of Mr. Wetangula, we had both sides.
Both sides of the story. So let's wait for the other side of the story.
Kindly let us wait for the next side.
So let's move on to a very pertinent issue now, which is affecting the country. Page 4 and 5 of the paper, that's a special report on the Standard. Why Raila and Uhuru are not breaking new ground with their